Hello, it's 12 midnight and I'm Raymond Goh. This is Nightline. Our headlines today. Malaysia threatens to boycott EU products if palm oil discrimination continues. And Singaporean among 3 charged over Sungai Kim chemical dumping. Good to have you with us. Malaysia would retaliate by switching to China for fighter jets if the European Union continues with its ban on palm oil. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the European nations are feigning concern that planting oil palm adversely affects the environment. Actually, these nations were more concerned about making money.
Mereka kata mereka sayang kepada binatang-binatang, tetapi saya fikir bukan binatang yang mereka sayang. Yang mereka sayang ialah duit. Oleh kerana minyak sawit ini murah, minyak yang mereka keluar daripada soybean lain-lain adalah mahal. Dan kita boleh bersaing dengan mereka dan kalahkan mereka. Maka untuk jaga pasaran minyak mereka membuat dakwaan kononnya minyak kelapa sawit ini bahaya untuk dimakan, tidak sihat, boleh membawa penyakit, dan juga kononnya hutan-hutan sudah tidak ada lagi dan orang hutan pun dah habis dah, tak ada lagi. Itulah alasan mereka. Tapi yang sebenarnya ialah kerana minyak mereka tak boleh lawan dengan minyak kelapa sawit. Kerana kelapa sawit ini kita tanam sekali, untuk 25 tahun kita boleh dapat minyak daripada pokok-pokok sawit. Sebaliknya kalau ditanam dengan soybean ataupun lain-lain tumbuhan, dia terpaksa ditanam tiap-tiap tahun kerana dia boleh mengeluarkan minyak sekali saja.
The Prime Minister was speaking to reporters after launching the Love Our Palm Oil campaign in Ladang East Sime Darby Plantations, Pulau Keri, Selangor on Sunday. He said these countries also felt threatened as Malaysia is producing biofuel with palm oil for diesel vehicles. Malaysia can retaliate by not buying certain products sold by countries that criminalizes palm oil.
Ini bukan promosi barangan Cina. Ini menolak barangan daripada Eropah yang telah buat sesuatu untuk memiskinkan kita. Mereka tak peduli 600,000 rakyat kita tak ada bekerja pun tak apa, asalkan rimau dapat hidup, boleh makan orang. Kita tak boleh berperang kerana kita nak kena beli juga barang mereka, tapi barang tertentu kita tak akan beli.
On the Philippines' move to temporarily halt the import of palm oil from Indonesia and Malaysia, Tun Dr. Mahathir said being ASEAN countries, it provides room for discussion and a resolution on the matter. Meanwhile, the Cabinet has approved 4 proposals from the Primary Industries Ministry regarding the plantation of oil palm. Among them, to discourage oil palm cultivation in peat soils and to limit the expansion of oil palm plantations in the country.
I would love to, stop immediately, but I cannot because land matters are under state government. We need to explain and need to persuade all the state governments to agree to this proposal. And there are already plans in certain states which we cannot touch.
She added that the oil palm plantations in Malaysia would be limited to 6.5 million hectares as a step towards ensuring the sustainability of the palm oil industry. The government will now prohibit changing the use of permanent forest reserves land for the cultivation of oil palm or other agricultural crops. Planters would also be encouraged to plant the new breed of oil palm seeds which can produce more oil. Malaysia is willing to ratify the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court on condition that it must be subjected to the country's requirements. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said the government wants Malaysia to reap the good values from international treaties, but would not accept conditions deemed unsuitable for the country.
We want to ratify subject to our condition in this country. There are certain things that they want to do under the Rome Statute, which we cannot do in this country. For example, Rome Statute give absolute freedom to everybody to do all kinds of things. They are now marrying men, marry men, women, marry women. I don't know what they do when they marry, but they are very funny people. We don't want to be funny people like them. That we don't accept. We accept only good ones.
Tun Dr. Mahathir said this in a press conference after launching the Sayang Sawitku campaign on Sunday. He was responding to the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar's statement on Saturday that the government would violate the federal constitution by signing the treaty, as it would affect the monarchy, Malay rights and the sanctity of Islam in the country. The Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court is the treaty that established the International Criminal Court, having been adopted in Rome on July 17, 1998, and having come into force on July 1, 2002. Police are hunting for a Singaporean man to assist in investigations into the Sungai Kim chemical waste pollution case. Johor Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Khalil Kadir Muhammad said state police would be working with their Singapore counterparts to track down the man.
Satu lagi laki-laki Cina, warga negara Singapura yang telah pun diletakkan dalam wanted list juga adalah pemilik kilang tersebut. Kita sedang menunggu bantuan daripada pihak Singapura untuk menangkap laki-laki tersebut.
Datuk Muhammad Khalil said this in a press conference at the Johor Police Headquarters on Sunday. He said that earlier, 11 people were arrested to assist in investigations, but 8 were released on police bail. He also stressed that police had worked as hard as they could to arrest the suspects involved in the case based on the facts received. Earlier on Sunday, 2 directors and a lorry driver of a used tyre processing company were charged in the Johor Bahru Sessions Court with being involved in the chemical dumping into Sungai Kim. The 3 accused are Singaporean Wang Jin Chow, 34, and Malaysians Yap Yok Ling, 36, and lorry driver N. Maridas, 35. According to the charge sheet, Maridas was accused of illegally disposing of chemicals into Sungai Kim on March 7th. Wang and Yap are accused of conspiring with Maridas. All 3 were charged under Section 34B, subsection 1A of the Environment Quality Act 1974, while Yap and Wang were also charged under Section 42 of the same act. It is learnt that they will face more charges following the incident at Sungai Kim, which affected thousands of lives. The water at the Air Itam Dam in Pulau Pinang will only last another 49 days if the current dry weather continues. Chief Minister Chow Kuan Yeow appealed to the people of Air Itam, Paya Terubong and surrounding townships to start saving water or risk running out of water before the end of May. The Air Itam Dam serves over 175,000 residents of Air Itam, Paya Terubong and Jalan Masjid Negeri. The water level at the dam stood at 50.3% of its capacity on Saturday. It stood at 93.9% on March 22nd last year. Chow said the Pulau Pinang Water Supply Corporation, PBAPP, had reduced the drawdown of raw water from the Air Itam Dam. However, residents need not worry of lower water pressure, as the Water Authority is pumping water from other plants outside Air Itam. Chow added that once the dam's level drops to 40%, the state would request for cloud seeding to be carried out in the area. He said low water levels at Sungai Muda was also another cause for concern, as the river supplies 80% of Pulau Pinang's water. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission (MCMC) has advised Facebook and Instagram users to change their passwords if they have been informed to do so. The Commission came out with a statement on Sunday after Facebook acknowledged on Thursday that it left hundreds of millions of user passwords readable by its employees for years. The blunder was uncovered during a routine security review early this year, according to Facebook, and comes after a series of controversies centered on whether Facebook properly safeguards the privacy and data of its users. The statement also said that any change of password has to be directly made through Facebook or Instagram applications or the official page to prevent any party from trying to take advantage of the situation by duping people through fraud, impersonations and phishing. It added that the MCMC would continue to monitor further developments on the issue and was working closely with Facebook. When we come back, major drug syndicate in Johor busted. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Police have crippled a major drug syndicate in Johor with the arrest of 12 men in a series of raids in the state on Wednesday. The authorities also seized various drugs worth 2.4 million ringgit. Johor Police Chief Dato' Muhammad Khalil Kadir Muhammad in a press conference on Sunday said a police team had first arrested two male suspects, a local and an Indonesian, in a BMW car in Larkin at 8:30 a.m. after they were spotted behaving suspiciously. During the inspection, police found and seized a Glock automatic pistol, .269mm bullets, 2 pistol magazines and over 18,000 ringgit cash in the car. Subsequently, police conducted a series of raids and arrests at several locations in Iskandar, Malaysia, and detained 10 people on the same day. They also seized a variety of drugs consisting of 46 kilograms of shabu, ganja, contraband cigarettes, and various psychotropic pills during the raids. Police also seized a .38 revolver with 128 bullets. Two trailers caught fire on the North-South Expressway Plus southbound near the Menora Tunnel in Ipoh, Perak on Sunday, causing a massive 10-kilometer traffic jam. The 11:40 a.m. incident occurred when a trailer rammed into the rear part of another lorry, which was parked in the emergency lane due to a stalled engine. Fortunately, no casualties were reported, while the driver of one of the trailers suffered minor injuries. Still in Perak, Raja Halimaton Shahrin Sultan Idris, who drowned while on a diving trip at Perhentian Island, was laid to rest at the Kuala Kangsar Royal Mausoleum on Sunday. Earlier, the remains of the 62-year-old member of the Perak royal family was taken to the Ubudiyah Mosque for the final prayer before being buried. Raja Halimaton Shahrin was the sister of Johor Permaisuri Raja Zarif Sofia Almarhum Sultan Idris Shah. In Terengganu, a family brushed with death after their house was completely razed in a fire in Kuala Nerus early on Sunday. The family of 4, including a 7-month-old infant, were asleep when their house in Kampung Duyung became engulfed by the inferno around 4:40 a.m. District Fire and Rescue Station Chief Yusmizan Yusof said it took some 21 firemen to contain the flames in 10 minutes. Puppets are essentially used as a form of entertainment for kids, but in some cases it may even be used as a medium to deliver a serious message across. This idea was what inspired a group of KDU University College students from the School of Communication and Creative Arts to come up with a one-of-a-kind puppetry show, which teaches school children skills and body safety knowledge to reduce the risks of them becoming victims of sexual or even physical abuse. Zanshia Rohaizat has more.
Signs of physical or sexual abuse may not be apparent to children or even adults. And that is why the Body Safety Campaign program was introduced to educate children as well as their parents to identify the telltale signs of such abuse taking place in a more edutaining and relatable way.
According to the Welfare Department statistics last year, some 14 child abuse cases occur daily, while many more go unreported. Due to this, the body safety campaign steered by 3 KDU lecturers was carried out this month to educate and to get students to speak up on abuses, especially when they encounter potentially uncomfortable or unsafe situations.
Actually, it started off with some casual talks with some friends on body safety, and they told me things like that they find it very difficult to explain to their children about body safety, what is inappropriate touching and appropriate touching. So I threw this idea, this is actually a class project, so I threw this idea to my students, and they came out with the idea of using puppets.
The initiative saw over 10 KDU students who were facilitators for the campaign as part of their class project, going to several schools for the campaign to expose primary school and preschool children about abuses.
Because let's face it, this topic has been a taboo in Malaysia forever, and with the internet today, it shouldn't be, So we need to have a learning source that will provide them with the accurate information.
It's a really good initiative. For this day and age, it's very important to educate the kids, especially the younger kids, on messages like this.
Apart from the puppetry show, the 2-hour program included a musical performance to teach children about the private parts, and also interactive sessions between the facilitators and participants.
I need volunteers to tell me which of these parts cannot be touched. Raise up your hand. Other prize. Raise up your hand. Who knows? Okay. Yang orang yang baju kuning punya. Come. Tell all your friends which part that cannot be touched. Okay, which part? Okay.
There's also a segment where facilitators showed examples of inappropriate sexual behaviors that the kids may encounter. Now, let's see if the children actually learned a thing or two.
I learned about not being something bad because other people will be touching my body, so I'll be warning and go away, shout from bad people, and I want to run away if bad people want to touch me. And I learned that I have to trust my family members and my teachers. I learned a lot that sexual harassment is a not very good act, and you must always be aware of what's happening around you.
Okay, if somebody comes to you, what are you going to do?
I must stay 2 meters away, just in case, if they look suspicious.
The organizers also hoped that the campaign would be expanded or even incorporated into the school curriculum to educate students on body safety.
The alarmingly high prevalence of physical and sexual abuse cases against children calls for the need of immediate prevention. Thus, schools, authorities, and the community must work on a national level to not only educate the children, but also to have laws to address the issue in a more effective way and punish the perpetrators.
Zansha Rohaizad reporting for Nightline, TV3.
When we return, Thailand general election sees junta party take shock lead. Details after the break. Welcome back. Now on to the updates of Thailand's general election 2019. According to the Election Commission EC, late Sunday, Thailand's junta-linked party took a shock lead in the popular vote with nearly all ballots counted, edging ahead of its pro-democracy rivals in the first election since a 2014 coup. The Palang Pracharat party gained more than 7.3 million votes, with 91% of votes tallied, nearly 500,000 more than Poi Thai. Meanwhile, Thailand's EC chairman, Itipon Bunprakong, said the unofficial results of a Sunday general election will be announced on Monday at 10 a.m. local time. However, he did not give a reason for the delay in the results, despite about 95% of the votes having been counted so far. Over 50 million Thais were eligible to vote this year, with at least 7 million people aged between 18 and 26 having the right to vote for the first time. In Morocco, police used batons and water cannons on Sunday morning against teachers who were protesting for better working conditions in the capital, Rabat. Earlier, several thousand young teachers had marched peacefully through the streets. As night fell, however, demonstrators held aloft candles and used their mobile phones as torches before setting up a makeshift camp in front of Parliament. Police moved in to break up the gathering after the protesters refused to leave following more than 2 hours of negotiations. The teachers on temporary contracts, who have been on strike since March 3rd, enjoy the same salaries as their permanent colleagues, but they complain that they do not enjoy the same rights, especially over retirement. Up next in sports, Sports golf, Australian Scott Hand birdied the first hole of a playoff against Spain's Nacho Elvira to win the 2019 Maybank Championship, which was held at the Saujana Golf and Country Club on Sunday. In the meantime, national golfer Nicholas Fung may not have met his target of a top 10 finish in the Maybank Championship, but his 15th placing is still his best ever achievement in the $3 million tournament. Nicholas, 28, carded 4 birdies and 2 bogeys for a 2 under 70 at the Saujana Golf and Country Club for a 4-day total of 8 under 280 and finished joint 15th with 4 others.
Not as good as yesterday, but I managed to shoot 2 under, which my up and down really good this today. And of course, I'm very very happy for the weeks. I think this is my best finish ever.
Meanwhile, national number 1 Gavin Kyle Green shot 5 birdies and 3 bogeys for a 2 under 70 and a 4-day total of 5 under 283. The 25-year-old, who finished joint 30th with 5 others, said he was disappointed with his overall performance. On to hockey now. Malaysia strengthened their position at the top of the 2019 Sultan Azlan Shah Cup group stage after beating Japan 4-3 on Sunday. Forward Faisal Shari continued his fine run in the tournament by scoring a brace in the 3rd and 25th minute. Kazuma Murata pulled one back for Japan. A Razi Rahim penalty corner in between strikes from Kota Watanabe and Koji Yamasaki was enough to seal the victory. The win allowed Malaysia to open a 2-point lead at the top after India and South Korea played out a 1-1 draw in an earlier game. That brings us to the end of Nightline this time around.